Hi there and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Arsenal are now willing to sell their £200,000 a week midfielder in January. According to the Times, Arsenal are willing to offload Thomas Partey in the January transfer window. The £200,000 a week midfielder is injured at the moment. He will not play for Ghana at the Africa Cup of Nations due to a thigh problem. The Times has reported that Arsenal are ready to sell Partey now. The report has noted that if the North London club are able to bring in a suitable holding midfielder, then Declan Rice could revert to playing as a number 8. England international midfielder Rice made the move to Arsenal from London and the Premier League rivals West Ham United in the summer of 2023. Partey, who has been deployed at right back on occasions this season, has made 3 starts and 1 substitute appearance in the Premier League for Arsenal so far this season. The defensive midfielder has made 85 appearances in the Premier League so far in his career. He has scored 5 goals and given 3 assists in those games. In my view, Arsenal could struggle to sell Thomas Partey in the January transfer window. Selling a player is not as easy as it sounds. Partey is injured now, so you have to ask why a club would sign him in January. Wouldn't be better for an interested club to see when Partey recovers and how he does after he is fit? I would also question why Arsenal are actually willing to sell Partey now. After all, the Gunners are aiming to win the Premier League title this season. Wouldn't it be better for the North London club to keep hold of the midfielder until the summer of 2024 to enhance their chances of winning the league title? £16 million Arsenal player is confused and not very happy. After a busy December, Arsenal defender Takehiro Tomiyasu is now very unhappy with the timing of the Asian Cup in January. Tomiyasu returned from his recent injury to play the second half in Arsenal's defeat against Fulham on Sunday. And with the Asian Cup now set to begin as of January the 12th, Tomiyasu could be unavailable for Arsenal until February. Mohamed El Neni will also travel to AFCON with Egypt shortly, with Thomas Partey now foregoing the tournament due to further injury. And ahead of his departure to Qatar, Arsenal's Tomiyasu was very unhappy with the timing of the tournament. The £16 million defender spoke to the Evening Standard before his departure and thought this bloated schedule was unfair on players. He said, I want the Asian Cup to be played in June, the same as the Euros. I don't know why we are playing in January, not only the Asian Cup, but AFCON as well. It's not good for the players, but it is what it is, and I will really try to come back with the title. Of course, with a lot of players traveling to both the Asian Cup and AFCON from Europe, Tomiyasu's comment do make a lot of sense. Many players have spoken out about how grueling the fixture schedule is now becoming for footballers in the modern era, and following tournaments that could stretch to 6 games for the winners, those players will then be expected to return to their clubs fit and ready for the remainder of the season. Tomiyasu has every right to be unhappy, and so do Arsenal to an extent. Of course, extra football in the summer isn't always the best solution either. It's a difficult situation to balance. International tournaments are a crucial part of world football and they deserve to be celebrated and enjoyed. However, as we saw with the World Cup, tournaments taking place mid-season simply cause a lot of stress on players, and many will feel that Tomiyasu has every right to air his displeasure. Premier League club could now send extraordinary 23-year-old player back to Arsenal. Nottingham Forest could reportedly send Nuno Tavares back to Arsenal as part of Nuno Espirito Santo's January overhaul. The Portuguese defender was signed by the City ground side in the summer on a season-long loan spell, though Tavares failed to make much of an impact under the manager Steve Cooper, despite being lauded as an extraordinary player by former Olympique Marseille manager Igor Tudor. Tavares has done little to light up Forest this campaign away from Arsenal, and according to the Daily Mail's Tom Colomos, Tavares might no longer be at Forest come the end of the January transfer window, with Nuno keen to trim down his new squad. As a result, Tavares could be back at Arsenal for the first time in 18 months, with the Gunners failing to sell the 23-year-old in the summer last year. Indeed, Tavares returning to North London could lead Arsenal finding a potential buyer for the left back, with Mikel Arteta clearly having no plans for the defender in the first team. Tavares' loan move to Forest seemed unusual from the very start, and Arsenal likely now know that their best course of action with the defender is to sell him for good this month. Given how little the Gunners signed Tavares for in 2021, Arteta should be fine with the idea of selling the former Portuguese youth international for cheap if a buyer turns up in the coming weeks. And for the defender himself, Tavares will want a fresh start somewhere else, with the fullback showing in patches that he has the quality to be a real asset for the right club. Journalists suggest £55 million player could be one Arsenal go for now. Arsenal are seemingly in the market for a new midfielder. The Gunners have been strongly linked with both Douglas Luiz and Joao Palhinha as of late, and now another defensive midfield option has been linked. Speaking on the Arsenal Beat podcast, Kaya Kainak has been discussing who he thinks Arsenal should sign this month, and he noted that Martin Zubimendi could be a great signing for the North London club, claiming that the Gunners are in fact interested in the midfielder, who Kainak notes is thought to have a £55 million release clause. The journalist shared what he knows about the midfielder. He said, "Long term, I'm thinking about the midfield. I think a player they should get is Martin Zubimendi. It wouldn't be easy to get him out of there. I think he has a £55 million release clause, but Arsenal are interested in him, and he is a very good player." Arsenal are understandably big fans of Zubimendi, but it has to be said that this deal won't be easy to do this month. Yes, a release clause makes things a lot less complicated, but personal terms could be an issue. As a local lad, Zubimendi absolutely loves it at Real Sociedad. Much like their neighbours Athletic Club, there is a huge amount of Basque pride that comes along with playing for the club, and Zubimendi is certainly loving life at the moment. Indeed, this is turning into something of a golden era for the club. They have just topped their Champions League group, and they may feel as though they are able to make a real run at European glory this season. Zubimendi won't want to abandon that project before his story is finished in San Sebastian, and for that reason, it's hard to see Arsenal being able to get this deal done this month. Journalists suggest £15 million midfielder could genuinely end up at Arsenal. Arsenal continue to be linked with a move for Douglas Luiz in January. The Brazilian midfielder has been named as the Gunners' top transfer target heading into this transfer window, ahead of the likes of Joao Palhinha. The Aston Villa star has been utterly brilliant in the Premier League this season, and now one of the biggest clubs in the country are looking at signing him. Speaking on the Arsenal Beat podcast, Sam Dean has been discussing the links between Arsenal and Luiz, and he says that it's a very realistic and reasonable transfer. Dean spoke about the £15 million midfielder. He said, "I quite like it. I think the cost could be an issue, and I think the fact that Villa are doing well is also an issue. He can play as a 6 or an 8. We know that they like him already. We know that they like him. I think it's a very realistic and reasonable shot that midfield evolution will be interesting." On paper, Luis does seem like a very realistic signing for the Gunners, but make no mistake about it, this deal will not be easy. Aston Villa are flying at the moment. In fact, they are above Arsenal in the table as things stand, and the villains will not be keen to sell a key player when they are on the brink of something so special. Think back to Leicester City's title win in 15-16. Not a single key player left that January, as they knew they had to finish the story, and Louise may feel the same at Villa. Unai Emery's team are very much in this title race, and while Louise may want to make a switch at some point, we can't help but think that the midfielder will want to see out the season and make something special happen at Villa Park now. Arsenal will really try to sign fast and strong striker, club record fee needed. According to Tutto Juve, Arsenal are interested in signing Victor Osimhen from Napoli in the January transfer window. The Italian news outlet has claimed that Arsenal will try to get a deal done for Osimhen this month. The 25-year-old Nigeria international striker recently signed a new contract with Napoli until 2026. According to The Independent, Osimhen has a release clause of £120 million in his new contract, so this means that Arsenal would have to make the striker their most expensive signing in club history. Declan Rice is the Gunners' record signing at £105 million. Tutto Juve has claimed that Arsenal are keen on Brentford striker Ivan Toney too, adding that the Gunners could try to sign Juventus striker Dusan Vlahovic as well. In my opinion, Napoli striker Victor Osimhen would be a brilliant signing for Arsenal in the January transfer window. I believe that the striker could help Arsenal win the Premier League title this season. Chelsea have also been linked, while Manchester United have been told to make a move for him. Osimhen is one of the best strikers in the world. AC Milan central defender Fikayo Tomori has previously described him as a very strong and fast. Napoli defender Amir Ramani has said that his teammate is very quick and strong, adding that he struggles to cope with him in training. Osimhen is a goal machine. The Nigerian has scored 7 goals and given 2 assists in 11 Serie A starts this season. Last season, Osimhen scored 26 goals and provided 4 assists in 30 Serie A starts. £80 million striker may not want to join Arsenal in January. According to TalkSport journalist Alex Crook, Arsenal are interested in signing Ivan Toney from Brentford in the January transfer window. A number of other major media outlets, including The Independent, have also reported Arsenal's interest in Toney. Crook has reported that Brentford really do not want to sell the striker in the middle of the season. The Bees want Toney to sign a new deal and value him at £80 million. Crook has added that the England international might not be willing to leave Brentford because he could think that he owes them. Toney has not played at all this season due to a ban. The former Newcastle striker is due to return to action later this month. Crook said about Arsenal signing Toney in January on TalkSport the following: I'm not convinced, I think Ivan Toney might just feel Brentford in their current predicament. Maybe he owes them to come back and keep them in the Premier League. I know from Abi's perspective, they don't really want to sell him this month. That's why they put such a high asking price on him, in excess of £80 million. They are hoping that he will sign a new contract, probably with a release clause, and then go in the summer. Brentford are an established club in the Premier League who do not have to sell any of their players for cash, especially in the middle of the season. Football Transfers has reported that Brentford do not want to sell the 27-year-old striker and want £100 million for him. Arsenal are not willing to pay it, according to the report. If Brentford do not want to sell the striker, then he will just have to stay at the London club. After all, he has a contract with the Bees. Arsenal already in talks over surprise Liverpool transfer raid as star player wants Anfield exit. Arsenal have reportedly already had some contact over the possible transfer of Liverpool midfielder Curtis Jones. Despite being a key player for Jurgen Klopp's side, it seems that Jones is keen on the idea of moving south, so it seems there could be a possibility for this ambitious deal to be done, with initial talks already taking place over a deal for the 22-year-old. Mikel Arteta is a big fan of Jones and wants him for that number 8 role in his midfield for next season, which makes sense after some issues in that position this season since Granit Xhaka's exit. That's according to reliable Arsenal account AFC Amden on X. Jones came up through the Liverpool academy, so one imagines they won't let him go to a rival, but AFC compared this to the somewhat surprise deal that saw Cole Palmer leave Man City for Chelsea last summer. This will be an intriguing deal to keep an eye on, with Arsenal fans surely likely to welcome this quality player to the Emirates Stadium after seeing what he can do at Liverpool. Reds fans, by contrast, will surely be desperate not to see this home ground talent leave without a fight or a huge transfer fee. As we wrap up today's Arsenal news, remember to stay tuned for daily updates right here on the channel. Don't miss out on the latest updates, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you found this information valuable. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.